Cubs are now losers of 4 straight. We look into the reasons why and more right now.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Alongside Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy. Please support the show and be a part of our community by following on your preferred audio platform. And you can watch, subscribe, and leave a comment on YouTube. Thanks so much for making us your first listen. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into a discussion with you on all things Cubs. And we're pleased and delighted that you decided to begin your weekend with us whenever and wherever you may be listening. We wish it was on better terms as the Cubs get swept by the Phillies following a 3-1 loss Thursday in the series finale. Cubs weren't even close in this series, trailing nearly every single inning all week long. Cubs have now lost 4 straight and are back to 5 games under 500. They're also 5 games back of first place in the NL Central. Plenty of opportunities Thursday, Sam, but nothing to show for it.
Yeah. Thursday was the game you got to find a way to win to stop the bleeding. And you couldn't. You couldn't do it. The Cubs trailed in 25 of the 27 innings that they played this week. They did not lead once. Game basically came down to a couple sequences, right? Second and third, 2 outs after a cheap infield hit to lead off that inning by Clemens. Harper gets fooled on a changeup, hits an 83-mile-an-hour ground ball up the middle, finds grass, 2-run score. Ian Happ, second and third, 1 out, hits a rifle right at a guy. Sometimes it doesn't go your way. There's bad luck. Of course, the Cubs made some of that bad luck with Christopher Morel inexplicably bunting and Nick Madrigal inexplicably bunting, thinking that there was 1 out and going for a squeeze. So, which, by the way, still would have been a weird play because you were down 2 runs at that time. So that was really odd. Philly didn't play well tonight. I mean, they dropped 2 balls in the outfield.
Right.
But here's what I'll say, guys. And then Matt, I'll swing it to you because I know sometimes I get big picture, and I'm going to get there right now. I watch this series, and I see a team, and forget the results. Pretend the results didn't happen just with my eyes. The Phillies are better than the Cubs, and it's not particularly close. They're better. They have better players. They have better pitchers for the most part. They have a better bullpen, and Lord knows, they have a better manager. 2 years ago, not even 2 years ago, we're not even there. The Cubs traded away their core. And then last year, the last guy left, Wilson Contreras. None of those guys are producing at a high level. None of them. The closest is Anthony Rizzo, and he is benefiting from a cheap stadium that he plays in. The point I'm trying to make is if you re-sign any of those guys, you'd be in a worse spot that you're in now. So you got to let it be, okay? You have one of the best prospects in baseball, Pete Crow Armstrong. You have Cade Horton, who by the season's end might be one of the top 3-4 pitching prospects in baseball. There's a lot of good pieces on this team. Wow. They're just not clicking this year. And I've told you this off the air. I've said it on the air. I believe a large part of that is they're managed poorly. And the only thing that really will irk me this season, and I'm not throwing in the white flag again. I already did that, so there's no reason to do it again.
Right.
The only thing that really keeps me up at night is how many games early in the year were lost on the margins. But if you were to tell me, Matt, that your $161 million corner outfield, Ian Happ and Seiya Suzuki, would have 13 home runs as we approach July, and they never hit with runners in scoring position. So if you don't hit with runners on and you don't hit homers, I don't care what your overall numbers are, you're not helping the team enough. It's going to be hard for this team to win. They're built around those guys to hit. They're built around those guys. Those guys aren't hitting. They're better hitters than that. They're going to be better. And the Cubs have financial flexibility, and they'll surround them with stuff. And Steele's really good. I guess what I'm trying to say is I saw these tweets like the Cubs are the worst team ever, and the organization's this. You could be the Mets. You could be the Padres. You could go down on 35th and Shields in a window year. I got Sox fans bragging to me saying, hey, we're only 4 out. You're 12 under.
Yeah. What does that mean?
It's year 2 of a retool, whatever you want to call it. The goal for this year was to play competitive baseball. That's TBD. They're still doing it right now. They got to start winning some games quickly or it's going to get out of hand. We'll see what happens with Stroman. But I guess what I'm trying to say is when I threw in the white towel on the West Coast trip, it was like I saw the writing on the wall that this team wasn't going to kind of win a championship this year. And listen, I love to be wrong on that. You never know. You get hot, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, like, we want them to compete and we want them to be in it late. And then next year they need to make a jump forward. But they lose so many games on the margins and the lineup's messed up. We know this, I guess. I guess what I'm trying to say is it could be worse. It could be better. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think that's a really good perspective from you. And, maybe even a little bit surprisingly positive, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know why. Someone must have slipped something in my dinner tonight.
Yeah.
I'm not. What do you want me to do? Scream that they got they trailed 25-27.
We didn't learn anything this week. Was my biggest takeaway. We didn't learn anything.
Right.
We've seen this multiple times this year,
right?
And they don't do well when challenged. They don't do well faced with adversity. They don't do well when they need to respond.
Mm-hmm.
They had a nice chunk in there. They went. Won 10 of 12.
Yeah, they beat the Pirates 6 times.
Right. And maybe that's what it was looking back on it because they're not even close to in the mix really anymore.
No, well, they're actually ahead of the Cubs now.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they've been playing really well.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, no, the Pirates are ahead of the Cubs.
Are you serious?
Yes. They got hot. They won a few in a row.
But nobody likes them as a division favorite.
No,
anymore.
Sometimes it's just when you catch teams. The Cubs caught Philly at a bad time. They should have won the game Thursday night. They should have lost the series. They should have won Thursday night.
Yeah, they scored 1 run doing it. The two bunt plays is embarrassing to my baseball fandom and whatever else part of my being deals with this great sport. Right. First and third, 2 outs with Madrigal. Manager David Ross said post game that
he didn't know how many outs there were.
That Madrigal forgot how many outs there were, so I'm sure he'll be held accountable for that Friday. And Morel bunted first.
Was that
third.
Sarcastic?
Yes.
Okay.
Morel bunted, and I'm starting to get a little tired of Ross. So if you're still with us 8 minutes in,
starting.
Congratulations.
Starting?
Well, yeah, because
it's been 3 years of this.
In a way, starting. Yeah,
you weren't tired of him in
on
May?
The precipice of a more serious tone. Yeah,
we lost back-to-back games in Washington because he refused to hit Nick Madrigal for Patrick Wisdom. The former is now the everyday starting third baseman, and the other guys were celebrating homers in the minor leagues. You're starting to get tired of Ross.
Well, it's all adding up now.
When it comes to fatigue with Ross, pass me eight helpings of melatonin.
I was at Walgreens a couple times today. I wanted to see him do well. And
why?
He's really not even close.
No, he's a bad manager.
He's really not even close. It's too bad.
And by the way, can I say one thing?
Yeah.
The bunts today, not knowing how many outs there are, fine. That's not on Ross. But Morel's bunt, that's a reflection of the manager. That shouldn't be happening. He should know not to do that. First of all, he shouldn't be hitting third Morel because of things like that. Sure. And Ian Happ continues to just hit smack right.
Well, we're going to talk about that next segment.
Okay. But it's just a poorly managed team. And, look at their run differential. Look at their record. It's a
disconnected team.
Yeah, they don't have fight. And that's what everything that they were supposed to have, they don't have. Leadership, fight. And I'm so sick and tired of hearing about the metrics and, hey, Dansby Swanson's a superstar because of his wins above replacement. That's just, compared to the other shortstops, He's a very good shortstop. I get that. But you want to know what leaders and superstars do? When you need it most, when you're struggling, when things are at their absolute worst, that's when you look to your leaders. That's when you look to your superstars. Role players, role guys are always at their best when things are going good. When things are at their worst, you look to your stars. This team and every single David Ross team post-COVID, when things go bad, they tuck themselves in a trench and go to sleep and wait till it's over. They don't get out of it. There was second and third, 2 outs today for Dansby Swanson. He could have lifted this team up, and he took a called third, belt high.
It wasn't a good pitch.
It was a hanging splitter.
Right.
And this isn't a Dansby Swanson thing. He's been fine. But don't sit here and tell me he's a superstar, okay? Because
he's having a solid season.
He's been fine.
Which is what he's done his whole life.
He's been very fine.
This team never does well when simply trailing in a game. They've made very few comebacks. Within a single 9-inning time frame, they just are very meager when it comes to fighting back.
They're front runners.
They've had nice stretches this year, one in April, one just this past couple of weeks before the debauchery in that second London game. But
by a guy that shouldn't have been playing.
Everything in the middle of that sandwich and now the 3 games outside of it hasn't been good. And so, where do the Cubs go from here, I think, is the main question going into the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
They have 10 games left till the All-Star break. They have these 3 games with the Guardians, which we're going to get to later. But I see no clear solutions. And a lot of that does come down to personnel. But even just simple swing decisions have not really changed player to player. And it's just a shame. And the offense has, struggled because of it.
Before we move on, can I just give a shout out to Kyle Hendricks? I thought he was terrific.
Yeah, he was great.
I really
7 innings tonight.
And he could have went 9. If they were up 5-1, he would have went all 9.
Right.
I really thought this was a rough matchup for him. I actually thought there was going to be a ton of runs tonight. Couldn't have been more wrong. He was great. He gave up a leadoff homer to Schwarber, and then he gave up a dinky, lucky 2-run single to Bryce Harper, who hasn't hit a home run since Christmas time in his backyard. And that was it. And he was really good getting weak contact. And, he is just looks –
he's been great.
Yeah, it's frustrating that they
don't take advantage of that, dude.
If they were a first place team right now, he'd be the talk of the town. That's how good he's been.
Wow.
If they hit today, he might have went the distance.
Yeah, if the score was flipped, he would have kept going.
Yeah, he really was exceptional, and God bless him.
If you were in the pool that said the Cubs need another bat, you were right. That's been proven dramatically correct. The Cubs keep running out the same players this stretch of games. Seiya Suzuki has another mystery injury. So what could they do with the lineup, if anything? Really, we're just going to humor ourselves the next few minutes. We're going to show you what they could do with the players they do have coming up next. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Take your first swing at betting MLB on FanDuel. Get 10 times your first bet amount in bonus bets up to $200. That's right. Just bet $20 and you'll land $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. That's $200 you can spend on betting everything from the money line to the over-under to who you think is going to hit the first home run. It's all in an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Plus, when you win, you get paid instantly. There's no better place to bet on MLB than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. So sign up today and visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get up to $200 in bonus bets. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon. FanDuel, the official partner of Major League Baseball. The Cubs play the Guardians at 1:20 p.m. Central Friday. And you can listen to every pitch with the Cubs hometown broadcast on SiriusXM on the SXM app. Search Cubs or tune into channel 844 and catch the Cubs all season long on SiriusXM. Well, if this is the personnel you're going to use, and Seiya Suzuki's absence as well, potentially an IL stint for him beginning Friday, I do believe. That's my speculation. We'll see.
Really? You think it's a real thing?
Maybe he comes back and goes 3 for 3. I don't know.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. He might come back.
Right.
He hasn't hit a home run this month.
Right.
The month's over.
Yeah, Friday's the last day of the month.
Yeah, he hasn't hit one home run. Not one.
So,
Matt, not one home run.
Home run.
That's not a small thing.
Oh, it's horribly concerning.
Do you know how many home runs Suzuki, Bellinger, Happ, and Swanson have in the month of June?
In the month of June?
Yeah.
Let's see. So 2 plus 0 plus maybe 2. I think 4.
7.
Oh, 7?
Remember, Happ hit 2 in London. Happ has 3.
I know, 2 plus 0.
Happ has
3 total.
Happ had 3, Swanson had 4.
Oh, Swanson has 4. Wow.
Yeah, 7.
Thought he had 2.
Matt, that's 4 players. Those guys should be hitting 7 each in a month.
Yeah, that'd be nice. They'd be way better.
7 homer?
7 homers, yeah.
Well, where's the power?
And they have about 7 homers each on the year.
Well, Cody Bellinger hasn't really gotten into a ball since April.
Right, I know. It's not sarcastic.
No, remember everybody, extend them. And I tried to tell you guys, just let it be.
Well, you know what I found this year, Sam, and you're guilty of this as well.
Wait, can we do Let It Be?
Let it be.
Yeah, no, it's a Beatles song.
Hopefully, don't get demonetized. Right.
Oh, sorry about that.
Can't sing on, yeah.
No, come on. No one's going to demonetize the Beatles.
Yeah, right. A lot of, I've noticed a lot of folks have looked at baseball this year like football.
Right.
And only one football game equals like 10, 11 baseball games.
And I think
we're a lot of quick reactions.
And we're guilty of that because we have to do a show every day, guys.
Sure.
But there was that 1% of me that was like, hey, Bellinger's hot in April. Let's give him $200 million. Are you out of your mind?
Hey, speaking of 1%, there's a 1% chance that David Ross actually changes the batting order Friday.
Yeah, let's talk
but I'm going to do it because I love making lineups. I've been doing this since I was 11.
Yeah, no.
And now I have this great program with Sam. By the way, next week's our 1-year anniversary.
Yeah, it's good.
But
are you going to take me out for like a steak?
But who cares? So
no, I care. I'd be a little bit more happy, but I think I have to move states because my allergies are so bad.
Yeah, you still have allergies. It's almost July. So anyway,
I'm not the only one.
Right. So perhaps it's the wildfires, dude.
I don't know, but I'm like crying on air, and it's not because the Cubs thing.
All right, folks. So Ian Happ doesn't want to hit leadoff, but this is really what they should do. Happ, Swanson, Horner, Morel, Bellinger, Gomes, Talkman. He's really starting to get ice cold. Young and Madrigal.
Can you pull that up again? How can
I wanted to get your reaction.
You give me like 6 seconds to react.
No, I wanted to get some of your reaction because that was a good line.
What am I, Roger Federer? No, I laughed when you said it. Yeah, I like this a lot better. Look, if you're not hitting any, let me tell you something. If you have 7 homers on the season, you don't get to choose where you hit in the lineup. The manager does. Okay. I really like this lineup. I probably throw.
This is a bad lineup.
No, it's not. Gomes is way too high. Gomes is way too high if a righty's pitching. I'd probably go. I probably flip Horner and mix in like Talkman or Bellinger third, something like that, and then put Horner 4 or 5, and that'd be fine. Just to balance out the righty lefties, and then move Young up and Gomes against righties should be hitting 8th.
Okay, so maybe I'll change that.
But the point that you're trying to make, and then when you get Suzuki back in, the key is putting a lineup in there with Suzuki. So Suzuki would probably come back for Talkman.
Yeah.
So I'd probably go. Here's what I would go. I'll just say it live on air. Ian 1. Seiya 2. I know I've been annoying about having them back to back, but I just think having them up in the order works because they'll get on base. They won't have to actually get hits, which, is hard for those guys. Swanson 3, Nico 4. And then, honestly, if a righty's pitching and you like the matchup, you could go Jared Young 5 or Bellinger 5. Then then Morel, then Bellinger or Young, and then Gomes and Madrigal.
Okay, wow.
That's kind of how I would do it. Ian Happ should not be hitting with men on base in the middle of the order. He's an on-base guy. Sing it. He's an on-base guy.
He's an on-base guy.
Are we going to get copyrighted? Was He's an on-base guy a sneaky right by John Lennon like the early 50s? Right? He's an on-base guy. Oh, he's an on-base. He can't hit with men on, and he doesn't hit homer. Don't start with that now, right. Please. So. And you made a great point on the Twitter space tonight.
Did I? I had one tweet the last week.
Well, even if the Cubs wanted to bench Madrigal, they don't have another option at third. Right?
They have nobody. Literally, because they refuse to play Morel there.
They
literally have one third base option.
Yeah. And hasn't hit a home run for 3 years.
He's barreled 3 balls in his career.
Please, no more laughs.
I mean, you got to be kidding.
No, if you play the laugh one more time, I'm done.
Okay.
I'm
trying to hold this guy accountable with some old school radio drops.
Yeah, I don't know. At least it's Friday, July 4th weekend.
I guess. I mean, what do you have planned this weekend?
I'm going to go to the pool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll come
Well, it's good to have you back.
Oh, yeah, you did a great job solo hosting for Thursday.
No, it's a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah, I was proud of you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Very proud of you, dude. You did a great job. So.
No, it was fine.
All right. We're going to go to the last segment. So,
okay.
Cubs play the Guardians for the next 3 games, and we get to that coming up.
And there's a bunt.
We're back here on Locked On Cubs. Thanks whenever and wherever you may be listening on this wonderful Friday.
It's a bunt.
As the air quality starts to clear. Cubs host the Guardians for 3 games. 120, 6:15, and 120. Saturday is a national broadcast on Fox. It's going to be Adam Mean, who Sam's a big fan of.
I would say big, but I like him.
Oh, AJ Przinsky and Ken Rosenthal will be on that call as well. And the pitching matchup, Steele and Quantrill, Stroman and Bybee, and Tyone and Savali. Cubs will actually, despite losing 4 straight, likely be favored in the first 2 games. And there will need to be a sense of urgency those first 2 games because Sunday they will be heavy underdogs with Tyone on the mound.
It won't be heavy.
And that's the show.
No, come on.
Oh, okay.
If the Cubs lose Friday, that probably will do it.
Okay.
Steele versus Quantrill. They made up an injury for him. They called it shoulder soreness because he was horrendous.
He was bad. Yeah.
And this is his first game back, and Steele's been great. Now, the Guardians do possess a Reds-like lineup where they get a lot of balls to
Good
fall.
Comp. Yeah.
They don't like. That's why I wanted Steele to face the Phillies because he can neutralize their lefties and not have to worry about. There's going to be a lot of balls in play, and if they fall, it could be trouble. But hopefully, Steele's on his game, and the Cubs really should be able to break out against Quantrill. Saturday will be a toss-up. Stroman,
Yeah, we haven't talked Stroman's blister all week. I'm concerned about that.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's a built-in excuse for him in his contract if he struggles. If he's out there, he better produce. It's not going to be like this Jake Arrieta thing where he gets rocked to the Giants and then says after the game he was sick. If you're out there, I expect you to perform. If you can't, you can't.
Sure.
I expect him to pitch Saturday. I expect him to pitch well. But Bybee's good. He's a good pitcher. He's a good young pitcher.
Yeah, he's a rookie.
And then Sunday could be like a softball score.
Right. No doubt.
And then you go to Milwaukee.
And Jose Ramirez is a true star.
He stole home today. Straight steal.
Love it.
Straight steal.
I love it.
No,
right
Cleveland's
out of the
good.
Coach Cozy playbook.
Cleveland's good. I expect them to win the AL Central. So, Look, today, a week from now at this time, we will know.
Yeah.
We'll know. So
yeah,
end
13
the show
games.
because I got to sneeze.
13 game stretch, and they've started 0-3. They got 10 to go. 3 Guardians, 4 Brewers.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
3 Yankees.
the Brewers series is the key. Like if they can find a way to go to Miller Park and win 3 out of 4, I'll be back
dancing in
as
the
used to be.
streets.
Yeah, you just got to end the show.
Shout out to the everydayers who are with us all 5 episodes throughout the week. I
My
was trying
allergies
to 2
are
minutes ago.
horrible, man.
And you can become an everydayer by checking us out each and every weekday. I was trying to get a 20-minute episode in.
No, I need like
Be
a
sure to
box
hit
of
that
Claritin.
subscribe button or Locked On Cubs on YouTube, and smash the like button for the algorithm, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, and streaming on SiriusXM. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.